Hello everyone and welcome to the GT300 Triple Mix Championship. We're here at the Red Bull Ring for the first round, but before I get straight into the race I thought I'd just give you a brief background into the history of the championship just so you can get a feel for it, because I've never mentioned it before in the past, so you know it's nice to get a feel for something before we actually kick off some of the action. So the championship began from a one-off event which happened in 2014, which has now been developed over 2 years into this championship. So we've got 2 years of development for one championship. It's pretty insane. You can tell a lot of effort's gone into this. So the key stewards, or the steward that I'm going to mention, is Tidgney, who's taken responsibility for all of this, and he's also going to be racing, so we'll keep an eye out for him in all 3 races. This was the last chance to run this event, so you're probably wondering why it's happening now, and that's because GT Sport is just around the corner now. It's not very far away, so it was the only chance. It was either now or never, basically, so it's now been running and you get to see it on this channel. Now the whole idea of this championship is there's 3 rounds, and each round has its own unique characteristics, so it's not the same each time. So each round that you see, you'll get another or a different perspective, and we'll actually get different action each time. So it's called the Triple Mix Championship. It means we have got 3 events. So as you can see, we're at the Red Bull Ring, and here we're going to have 3 20-minute races. The next round is going to be at Monza. We're going to have 2 races at 30 minutes, so a slightly longer sprint race, and then at Silverstone GP for the last round, which is one 60-minute race. So we go from a very short sprint race to an endurance race. Now the idea of the championship is for tracks and races to get harder, and it'll actually get more unforgiving each round you do. Obviously with the 3 races you've got second and third chances, then goes down to 2 races where you've got one extra chance, then the last race you don't have an extra chance, you mess it up, you've got a lot of work to do in the race. Now it's called the Triple Mix Championship, so along with the 3 rounds we've also got 3 cars, being GT300 of course. So we've got the RX-7 GT300 base model, we have the Lexus IS350 GT300 base model, and we also have the Impreza GT300 base model. So some good cars there, unique sounding cars of course with the RX-7, and each car has been balanced in a way that will give them fairly even times. Obviously the strengths and weaknesses for each car, but each driver can customise their tunes appropriately within the limits, and we'll go into those limits more deeply with each car. We'll have a look at each car before each race in this first round of the championship. And depending on obviously their settings, they might go aggressive on tyres and stuff like that. It depends on how well they could do in the race. You know, if you go through your tyres very quickly, you may have a bad end to the race but an amazing start to the race. So it's going to bring some unique aspects to the championships. And as I say, it's designed to have each round have its own characteristics. So that's the championship in a quick nutshell. I hope you enjoy these races. Now these races are broadcast live, so I'm literally watching them as they happened live, and then I've edited a few bits in afterwards, you know, just to give it a bit of feel, and each video will just have 1 race. So obviously we have 3 races at the first round, so we've got the first race coming up, then we'll go into the second race in another video, then the third race, then we'll go to Monza, do the 2 races, and then finally Silverstone. I hope you enjoy these races, but before we get into the first one, let's have a look at the first car, the Lexus IS350 GT300 base model. Welcome to the first car profile. We're going to look at the limitations and balance of the car, and the first thing to note is the 548 performance points. Now each car is different, remember, we've got 3 cars in the championship. The maximum power of this car is 421, that's the allowance, and to get that we've had to limit the power. If we have a look at the power here, we're down to 98.5%. Engine tuning has been added to the car, stage 3, and the only other important things to note are the racing exhaust, which is automatically stock, and the turbo kit, which is normal. The final thing to add to all of this is the weight of the car, which is set at 1,152 kilograms, which is set across all the cars, and to achieve that in this car we have to add 2 kilograms of ballast. Everything else, as long as you meet those 3 criteria, is customizable to their own driver preferences. So you've got downforce, and if we scroll a bit further up we've got the drivetrain, we have the transmission, and we finally have suspension, and of course the brake balance being in there. So they're the requirements: 548 performance points, 421 maximum brake horsepower, and 1,152 kilograms for the Lexus IS350 GT300 base model. Now let's jump to that all-important qualifying session. We've slowly loaded up and everybody's off. We're going to follow Pasm for this first lap. Now, Pasm is in the Lexus, so he can't use that again in any of the next 2 rounds. And we'll see how Pasm does on this first lap. Now, there's 6 minutes of qualifying. We've got 5 minutes and 38 seconds to go. And we can see everyone's little lines there, but we are going to follow Pasm. Go through the first corner, absolutely fine. Very clean on the exit as well. It can be easy to run off there on the first corner, of course, because there's that much runoff area. F1 tracks nowadays have to have lots of runoff areas, and you know, you can get a bit cheeky with track guidelines and, you know, the rules of white lines and things like that, but that was all okay. Coming into the second corner, it's quite a sharp corner. Looks like Pasm's done that very well. Now we've got the long straight to the third corner. This next corner is quite a tricky corner because it sort of starts sharp and opens up, but it can lure you into a false sense of security with the speed. So we'll see how Pasm does this now. Going in. Looks like he hits his apex okay. A couple of lines are a bit further ahead there. Looks like Philo's a little bit ahead, so it could be that Philo is actually on a faster lap here. We'll see the qualifying results shortly for the first lap. We'll jump to a different camera to have a look what Pasm is doing. Looks very clean. Ooh, using all the track there, very good. Still very clean. Look at that for an exit. 2 more corners to go, and then we see the first laps and what they've achieved. Pasm has overtaken Philo's line there, so it's between Pasm and Philo, I think, for this first lap. Quite slidey going into there. Again, uses the exit curb there quite well. Final corner, now the race to the line. Who's going to get pole for this first lap? It's going to be very close. I think Pasm has got this. And he 130 looks like it is. We jump to Philo now. Philo is in the Impreza, so another of the 3 cars. Does the first corner again very well. Let's have a look at the live timing. Let's see where everybody lines up. So Pasm looks to be faster in all 3 sectors there. So he's 1.3 seconds ahead of Philo. Followed by Bambi, Sig, GTP Roma, Napalm, Patrick, JF Rod, Mr. Racing Line, Oz, Dutchy, Nail and Gravitron. Let's jump back to the full view. Let's have a look at Philo coming down into turn 3. Again, this is the one that will catch a lot of drivers out. As you can see, it's tight on the way in. You want to accelerate early, but because it lures you into that security, but you can't actually do that. You've got to be patient with the cars. We'll see how Philo does now. Coming to this left-hander. This is quite a quick left-hander. It's gone a bit wide there, didn't fully hit the apex, but comes back strong. Hits the apex this time, much better than the last corner. 2 more corners to go. Is Philo going to top Pasm on this second lap? They'll only have 2 more laps after this, so they've got to really get them in really quick and fast. A bit of pressure there for the drivers. Ooh, he runs a bit wide there. Last corner, is he going to do this? It's good exit out of the last corner. Now he's got to race to the line. Oh, he's on the grass a little bit. Needs to get off the grass. What lap time are we looking at here? 1:30.1. I don't think that beats Pasm. We'll have a look at the lap times. A few people have moved there. So you have a look at the live timing now. So Philo has the fastest first sector there. 1/10 behind Pasm. I saw JF Rod gain a fair few positions there. Nail's gone to the bottom of the pile there. Gravitron's moved ahead. We've had a few others move a little bit there. We'll jump and back to the track and we'll go to JF Rod in the third and final car, the RX-7. Unique sounding engine, of course. Coming up to that third corner again. The one that is very tricky. We'll see how he handles this. Ooh, runs a bit wide. Has to delay the throttle a little bit there. You can see the throttle and brake on the left hand side of the screen. As well as the speed and the tyres, of course. Fuel and tyre wear is on fast, so you will see the tyre and fuel drop quite quickly. Does that corner very well, JF Rod. Have a look at this corner. Doesn't use as much track as Pasm and Philo did. Nice clean exit there. I think that was the best of the 3 we've been watching. 2 more corners to go. Racing with Bambi's line. But obviously that doesn't matter now. Now we're actually into the 3rd lap. So Bambi could be on a very quick lap. We'll have to see. These 2 are racing for position on the qualifying, and Bambi looks like he is on a flyer. So we'll have a look at what happens there. So is Bambi going to overtake? Bambi does overtake JF Rod 56. Roma moves up. Napalm moves up as well. So let's have a look. And that is the last lap. That's the last lap. They won't get another one in, so you know you potentially could have a wander around, but that was it. Philo got the fastest second sector then, but he messed up the last sector. Notice sector 3 times, 30.1. Not quite as fast as Pasm. Bambi got a very fast third sector, nearly met Pasm's. Looking further down, looks all very close here. We could have a cracking race on our hands. Some very close lap times, ranging from 130.0 all the way to 133.1. Remember, with the cars, got some nice looking cars. You can only use the car once. There are 3 races, 20-minute races. You can only use each car once. So once you've used the Lexus, for example, as we're now on Bambi, he can't use that car again. He's got to go to another car and then try and perform as well or better in another car to try and go up to second or first in qualifying, and then perhaps win the race. But we'll see what happens in the race in a second. So there we go. Qualifying is now over. The time has hit 0. And we should be able to see the positions. Well, I'd like to hope so, depending if Gran Turismo lets us. But that was a very interesting qualifying. Pasm just getting that from Philo. And Bambi had a cracking last lap there, who to overtake JF Rod 52. So hopefully with this loading, as I say, this is live recorded, so we've just got to cope with any black screens that we might get. We did mention earlier about the cars and the different setups, so just to give you an idea of horsepower, the PP varies as well with this. The RX-7 is running a maximum of 410 brake horsepower, the Lexus is running a maximum of 421, and the Impreza is running a maximum of 438. Just to give you a bit of background on some of the drivers. Bambi, who had an amazing last lap there to jump JF Rod 52. Only started on Gran Turismo in GT5. Doesn't look like he played the previous ones, and is currently in Division 2 Silver in the GT Planet WRS registry. Well worth checking out GT Planet if you want to look at improving as a driver or joining the events. In fact, as I said, there's a wide varying skill level in drivers, and it's always good to improve. So here's the official grid then. We have Pasm, followed by Philo, and then Bambi. 4th place, JF Rod 52, followed by Roma, Sig, Napalm, and Mr. Racing Line. In 9th, we have GTP Dutchy, then Patrick, Oz, Gravitron, and Nail 27. You can see a wide variety of cars in all different positions. The Lexus looks to be the strongest so far, taking 1st and 3rd position, followed by the Impreza, driven by Philo, and then obviously JF Rod in the RX-7. So we're at the race now. We're hopefully going to jump to the front. I want to get all the information on, and we'll jump to Pasm really quickly. And we're away, and on a black screen, there we go. Looks like Philo's had an excellent start and overtaken Pasm straight away, coming up to the first corner. It's very clean there. Everyone's filing in behind. Let's jump further back. A couple of drivers have run a bit wide. Try and jump a bit further back. Hopefully this black screen goes away so we can come up to the next corner. Some very close racing. Is Patrick going to make a move on Mr. Racing Line? Let's have a look at this. Everyone's running very clean. Oh, Gravitron is on the inside of Oz there. I'm not going to change it just in case we get the black screen. Doesn't look like he overtake him on the boards. We're going to jump right to the front of the queue. Oh. So there we are. We're on Philo now. Pasm follows behind. Philo's pulled a little bit of a gap. Couple of attempts there. Followed by JF Rod. So JF Rod's got ahead of Bambi in all of that. Sig is following very close behind there. And looks like Philo is pulling away a little bit. It's a couple of attempts there, and Pasm's definitely pulled a big gap from JF Rod. Obviously JF Rod and Bambi are having a brilliant battle. We saw that in qualifying. They were very close. We're going to jump to that battle, in fact. A bit of dust picked up there by Philo, I believe it was. It looked like Pasm actually caught up a bit of time. But we're going to follow this. JF Rod and Bambi, they are very close. Bambi looks like he's going to go for the move on the inside. Coming up to a right-hander, so is he going to do this? Pasm's going for the similar move. Doesn't quite pull off there. Philo is still ahead. JF Rod runs a little bit wide. Let's come onto the home stretch. And Bambi's going to go for the inside here. Let's have a look at this coming up to the first corner. Go onto this camera here. We can watch it in detail. Does Bambi go for it? He's going to go for the inside. It's going to be very close, like contact. Forces JF Rod right, and Bambi goes through. And look at this. Sig is coming straight through the middle. In an RX-7, he's on the left-hand side now. Bambi's going to have to defend this. Going to have to try and brake late, but he's got to give him room on the outside. Oh! And has Sig got this? Has he got it? Bambi's still on the inside. Sig's on the outside. And I believe Sig's got that 2 positions in one straight. What a magnificent move that was. Bit of fighting between Bambi and JF Rod, and Sig was in the right place to get that position. See if Bambi makes a move coming down into this right-hander. This is a tricky one, remember. Ooh, Sig runs a little bit wide, so now JF Rod's on the inside. This is all very close for this 3rd position, the final place on the podium. But Sig has got that. That was an amazing move, right in the middle of both cars. I will have a look a bit further down the field now, see what's happening further down the field. Let's have a look at who we can pick. Let's look at Dutchy. Spread out a bit further back. You can see the line of cars up front there with Bambi and Sig. So it's 3rd place back. We have a bit of a queue of cars. Let's jump to the front battle though. Let's jump to the front, and Philo and Pasm. Let's see how close these drivers are. Once we load, we'll jump to Pasm. Pasm staying very close. So even though these cars have very different brake horsepowers, you can see how close they are driving. It's all realistic settings as well in this lobby, so this is actual proper racing. There's no settings or really strong differences in cars, it's just slight differences. It's giving us some quality racing here. Philo's pulled a bit of a gap here. Runs a little bit wide. Tail end of the car coming out. Oh, we've got more battles going on here. Bambi and Sig. Sig has kept that position. Right, we're going to stay with this battle now. Coming up to this really complex right-hander. JF Rod looks like he wants to have this position. This is very close racing. Be careful, guys. Oh, he brakes early. Shows you how complex it is when you're braking early for that corner. Sig and Bambi very close. Let's jump to a bit of... we'll have a look at the times. Mispressed the button, but let's have a look. Philo has the fastest lap so far. But we're going to jump back to this battle. Let's get the TV camera up. Let's have a look at what's happening. See if we can see a bit further down the field. Roma and Mr. Racing Line look like they're pretty close. We'll have to look out for that battle. But we're going to have to focus on Bambi and Sig at the moment because these are very close. Oh, Gravitron is dropping positions there. It looks like Gravitron's made a mistake. And then looking at the map, he's definitely made a mistake. Let's jump to Gravitron just to see if we can find out. Oh, he's still on the side. He's just set off again now. So now for Gravitron, it's just about getting used to the car and having a look at where he could probably improve in another car. Let's jump back up to that 3rd place battle, which was really hotting up. And JF Rod is on the inside of Bambi. And they're coming up to a right-hander, so JF Rod could have this. 2 RX-7s then taking the battle to that Lexus. And we've got a black screen, and now we're free again. And JF Rod is still on the inside. Slight touch again. Just going for the escape road here. This is very close. He's still on the inside. Coming into this right-hander, it's going to be very, very close. These two have been fighting from the word go. Oh, brakes early to JF Rod. Bambi is still on the outside. Side-by-side racing all the way from that 2nd corner. It's going to be close. He's on the inside now, Bambi, so he should keep this position. Does he keep it? Does he keep it? He does indeed. Is JF Rod going to go off the cut? He is trying to cut back. Oh, this is very close. He's on the inside. He's going to get a better run off the corner. No, he's not. Bambi's going to keep that position, it looks like. He's going to come across and defend it. He does indeed. He's still going for it, JF Rod. He's still going. Wow, what excellent racing this is. Side by side. It's fairly clean. Obviously, you expect slight contact just because it's so close. But Bambi keeps that position. Let's go a bit further back with Mr. Racing Line and JP Roma, as they are very close. And Mr. Racing Line is going for the inside, coming up to the 1st corner. Both of them Pretzers, so they should be equal. It's just their own tunes of whatever they've done. Mr. Racing Line goes the inside. Roma runs very wide, trying to outbrake him. And Racing Line gets that position. 6th position for Mr. Racing Line. Still a long way to go in this race. We're not even halfway. And we've already had some absolutely quality battles. So we're going to jump up to this 3rd place battle again with JF Rod, Bambi and Sig, as these two are still fighting. It's very close. Got J Frod in the RX-7 white with blue wheels, quite a colour contrast, and Bambi is in a colour I really like. It's like a bronzy gold sort of colour, and orange wheels. J Frod goes for the inside. Bambi covers it off. This fourth position. Siggy's actually pulling away from these two now with them fighting so much. I mean, they were side by side for half a lap on the last lap, so this is all very close. But looks like Bambi's pulled a bit of a gap now. Let's jump to a bit further down the field then. I'll have a look what's Dutchy up to. There's a couple of cars who are very close. Dutchy is quite close to Patrick actually. Have to keep an eye on this, so we'll watch Dutchy and Patrick for a little bit, see if Dutchy is actually catching. They look very close. I'm going to jump to the external cam just to get a good idea of what's happening. Runs a little bit wide there. Comes off. Oh, we got move at Roma. Let's have a look. Let's go to Roma. It looks like he's on the inside, and he's already got the position from Mr. Racing Line. I didn't see what quite happened there, but Roma has got the position back. So Racing Line only lasted one lap in that position, and it looks like Bambi is actually looking to catch Sig again, and he's actually pulling away from JF Rod 52. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Let's have a look at some of the lap times though. And see his best lap, Philo, a 1:29.7. We didn't see a 29 in qualifying, but he's put that in the race. Followed by Pasm on a 0.0. And Bambi is clearly then the third fastest, so definitely catching Sig there. And oh, we've got action with Dutchy and Patrick. That's happening to the that third corner, the really complex one. He's seen a lot of really great racing. Sorry I missed the overtake, but Dutchy has got that position, so he's now in 8th place and looking now to chase Mr. Racing Line, see if he can get up another position. Gonna jump to Bambi. Bambi is closing in on the Sig, I believe. Oh no, he's pulled a bit of a gap. Must have just been a bit of vision there. That was making me think that he was actually closer. So Sig is actually keeping a bit of a gap. Looks like Bambi's gained quite a bit in that last corner there. And we'll have a look. Pasm's in the 1:29.9, so he's really chasing hard. If we have a look at the last laps alone, Bambi is catching nearly 3 tenths. So we'll have to definitely keep an eye out on this battle. We also have a battle 2 places back with Roma and Mr. Racing Line. But Roma looks like he's got a bit of a gap there. Oh, Patrick and Dutchy. Patrick's retaken Dutchy. It looks like Dutchy must have run wide on that first corner because there's quite a gap that's built up there very quickly with that change of position. I'm going to jump back to JF Rod now. Then we can see all 3 drivers. And yeah, there's a bit of a gap there. Let's go to the TV camera. Let's get a few nice shots of these racers as they come into that third corner. Red Bull Ring, quite a small lap, you know, 1:31. It's not like a length of Spa. So not quite as short as some of the 1:10 sort of tracks, but still a very good circuit. So just remind you, Bambi is a Division 2 silver driver in the GTPWRS. Pasm, who's in 2nd place, is in Division 1. So you can see, you know, the level of drivers. We've got some really fast drivers up front. Philo is unranked currently in the registry. And then we've got Bambi, Division 2, and then we've got a few others who are in Division 3 and so on. But you can see this field is quite spread out now. This battle for third, that's probably going to be the close battle. Although if looking at the map, Pasm and Philo look very close. And Pasm's got the lead! Pasm has got the lead. Not sure what happened there. It looks like Philo must have run wide on that last corner. I just noticed Philo's going on the inside with Pasm running wide on the first corner. So Philo retakes the lead. We'll have a look if any position changes coming into this next corner. Looks like Philo's got that momentum out that corner with Pasm going really wide on that first corner. Catches a lot under braking. Now we've got to be aware of tyres now, because tyres and fuel is obviously going to come into play a little bit. And the fact that the fuel, you know, is weight. And we've got tyres 99910 on Pasm. Philo is 99910, so similar tyres. Pasm definitely gains under braking. It's going to be very interesting going into the second half of this race. Oh, Sig and Bambi are also at it behind. But I don't want to really move from this first place position battle. It's very, very close. And it does look like Pasm has got the advantage now. Goes into left-hander. Pasm's definitely gaining. This could be very close going into last corner. This was a position change last time. Pasm has the momentum. He's on the inside. It's a very fast right-hander this. You don't want to be too wide. Pulls in behind. Philo looks very nervous. His rear end is quite a lot lower. Pasm on the inside. Oh, what a move! Philo moves, goes a bit wide. Pasm goes on the inside, takes the opportunity and takes the lead. Let's jump back to Philo. Let's have a look at this. Philo is actually losing ground down to Pasm's momentum there through that corner. We'll see if Pasm makes the same mistake again. He made the mistake here last time. Does he make it? He doesn't run wide this time, and Pasm does take the lead. So we're going to jump back to Sig and Bambi because they are very close. This is for third place. Looks like the Lexuses come on strong in the second half of the race. We have 7 minutes 30 seconds left. We have Pasm in a Lexus winning the race now. We have Bambi in 4th place, really chasing the Sig hard. This goes for trying to overtake round the outside on this corner. This is going to be an amazing overtake. Slight contact again. Oh, he span! He span! He span. That's unlucky there for Bambi. We caught that on camera as well. We can see that, you know, there was a tap on the inside and it looked like a bit of a pit manoeuvre. I'm sure that wasn't intentional. But now that leaves JF Rod and Sig. I imagine these guys are very close now. Yes, they are. Looks like they weren't accelerating then, so Sig must have had a bit of a moment. Two leaders have really pulled a gap. We've got somebody off on the last corner as well. Not sure who that is, but we can see that on the map. They've just set off again and are about to start cross the start-finish line, which is very close. Is JF Rod going to be able to catch Sig and really get that podium position? It's going to be very, very close. This very, very close. Coming to the. This is a really quick right-hander. If you ever do Red Bull Ring, when you do this corner, it's very hard to get right. As you can see there, Sig takes a bit of a different line to JF Rod. JF Rod looks like it was the faster line. Looks like Sig is actually struggling now because JF Rod is really on the back of him. He's going to have a bit of slipstream here going down to the first corner. He's catching, he's catching, he's catching, he's catching. Moves to the left-hand side. Sig has to brake really late here to catch him out. Oh, he's going for the undercuts. Does he get the momentum? Oh, this is very close. This is where Bambi tried the outside overtake last time. So JF Rod's going for a similar move. Sig will have to be careful here. He doesn't want to pit manoeuvre again. I know it wasn't intentional, but you've got to be very careful. And JF Rod is very careful this time. So is Sig as well. Fair play. And Sig keeps the position. Now, I'm going to jump back to Bambi because Bambi was going very quick. So I'm just looking at this. Thought JF Rod was going to make a move there. Doesn't quite pull off. But if we go back to Bambi, Bambi's probably going to be trying to make headway. Oh, he's not quite close enough yet. But with this fighting, actually, I believe Roma is actually on the back of JF Rod. Let's jump to Roma. Roma getting in the fight for third place here. So we've got two RX-7s and an Impreza. The Impreza's got the most horsepower, so I suspect it's probably got the fastest speed on the straight. And probably isn't as good in the turns then. But we'll have to see. JF Rod is very close to Sig now. And with them fighting, it is allowing Roma to catch, which is going to make this last few laps very interesting. So we have about 3, possibly 4 more laps to go. So Roma has every chance here of getting that third position. I'm going to jump to JF Rod again, as he's much closer now to Sig again. Much better under braking. Slightly dodgy exit with the tail coming out slightly, so Sig has managed to get a bit of momentum, but now the slipstream comes in. See many overtakes here in F1 with lots of dicing. Oh, he goes for it! Wow, what a move! JF Rod, third place. That was an absolutely stunning move. I don't think Sig was expecting that because he moved over to defend. Thought JF Rod was going to come back. Didn't. Sig went to the left and JF Rod carried on through. Third place. What a move. We've now got to be careful just in case. Oh, we've got a bit of contact. Roma and Sig. Bit of contact there going into that corner. They'll have to be careful of that on the next time they're round. We've got about 3 laps to go, I believe. 3 laps to go at current pace. Oh no, 2 laps to go, sorry. Oh, it's going to be very close. I'm going to jump to leaders. They look very close to each other. I can see Pasm's name. Come on, black screen. Load up. Here we go. They look very close to each other now. The field's a bit spread out further back. Is Philo going to get this position? We've got somebody a bit further down the grid. I think we'll jump to them because they look even closer. I'm not sure how far down this is. I'm going to believe it's Bambi. No, it's further down than that. It must be Dutchy and Patrick. They look quite close. Or they were close. No. My arrows are making illusions of this race. Let's have a look at some of the fastest times for the race so far. So Philo, a 129.5. What a lap that was. 129.5. He's still lapping in the 129, so Pasm has to be really careful. He's only 2 tenths behind as well. As we saw, it's very close there. We then have JF Rod, 130.7. Bambi is the one that's really out of place at the moment with a 136 and way back in 7th place. And currently lapping really quickly as well, 130.8. Everyone in front of him is in the 31s and 32s, so we're going to be careful of Bambi. In fact, we're going to jump to Bambi now. Let's have a look at what Bambi's doing. So he's catching Mr. Racing Line. He may have 1 lap to do this in, to actually catch and overtake Mr. Racing Line. It's going to be very close. It's definitely catching, definitely catching. Oh, runs a bit wide though, runs a bit wide. Won't have momentum coming out of that corner. So we look for probably 1 more lap. Oh, runs a bit wide again. You can tell he's really pushing. He's pushing really, really hard. Comes out the last corner. And he's going to hope for some slipstream here. He's definitely getting closer now. We're going to stay on the TV camera, see if we can get a nice shot of the overtake if he does go for it. And it looks like Dutchy is actually catching Patrick as well. But we're going to stay on this because we can definitely tell Bambi is really catching Mr. Racing Line. We've had no more movement up further for 3rd place. JF Rod has definitely pulled a gap now. Looks like Pasm's pulled a gap as well up in the lead. As we look at Bambi, he's going to go for a dive bomb down there. No, he's not. He stays behind the Impreza of Mr. Racing Line. So now we've got the complex right-hander coming up the 3rd turn on the track. And this is the one where, as I keep saying, it's very tight. It opens up and lures you into, fully accelerating out, but you don't want to do that. You got to be careful. If you look at the accelerator on Bambi there, slowly puts it on, has to come off and go on again, and you saw how wide he was there. Bambi has to catch up now. He's not got very long to do this in. The leaders are nearly coming up to lap traffic as well. Oh, the lap traffic on the start finish straight has a bit of a moment. Well, the arrow does at least. Looks like the leaders are definitely catching. And I'm going to jump. I want to jump to that battle, but Bambi is so close to Mr. Racing Line that I'm staying here. That marker may play a fact, but this is so close between Bambi and Mr. Racing Line. This is making up ground, lost ground from that incident earlier on with Sig 1611. He is so close now. Is he going to overtake him? Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? So this is the last lap now. Last lap. Doesn't do it there. Looks like Dutchy's under pressure from GTP Oz as well. But I'm going to stay on Bambi for now. We're going to watch him attack Mr. Racing Line on this final lap. So we get the F1 camera as they come up. Is he going to go for the dive bomb? Doesn't go for the dive bomb. Subaru must have very good brakes. Oh, he's run wide, Mr. Racing Line. Bambi takes the position. 6th position for Bambi. Now the leaders were coming up to a back marker. It looks like they've got past that back marker. So I'm going to jump to GTP Oz now. As I believe he was close to... He is close to Dutchy. They're both in Lexuses as well. So you would expect them to have similar strengths and weaknesses. He's very close. He's only got a couple of corners to do this here. Oh! Dutchy's gone off! Dutchy's gone off on that. As I kept saying throughout the race, that complex right-hander, the 3rd turn, you accelerate too quickly, it'll lure you out. It's obviously lured Dutchy out a little bit. He's come off the throttle, gone back on, and the rear end has just spun round. So Dutchy loses 9th place. Oz gets it. Pressure of Oz got to Dutchy, and he spun the car. Dutchy's remained in 10th, though. As we've got Napalm. If it loads, there we go. He's on his own in a very sky blue RX-7 there. But actually, we should jump to the race results a little bit here because Pasm has taken that win from TNR Philo by 1.5 seconds. So Philo's tyres must have just come off towards the end, or just making slight mistakes somewhere on the lap. JF Rod taking that 3rd position. Sig in 4th position. Excellent battle for that 3rd place between JF Rod, Sig and Bambi. That was amazing racing. We have Roma, who really came on strong towards the end of that race. Mr. Racing Line in 7th place. GTP Patrick in 8th. GTP Oz in 9th. Very good battle with Dutchy at the end, putting pressure on. Dutchy making that mistake, Oz getting that position. Napalm in 11th. We have Nail in 12th. And we have the final person to come round, which is Gravitron, after that error very early on in the race. It was on it was the 2nd fast left-hander. And he comes round to finish the race. He has 1 minute 30 seconds to finish this little bit of the straight. And there we go. So that's the full final times of those guys. And we have a fastest lap of Philo, 1:29.5. So it shows he was pushing really hard. Pasm stayed on the back of him and managed to stay on. Philo's obviously just worn off the tyres, or it's become a lot more slippy, the car, because we saw him making lots of mistakes with, the rear end was coming out a lot more. Pasm took the mistake, took the opportunity, and got that win. I was very impressed with that 3rd place battle though. That was insane. And different cars again, different cars, different setups, but such close racing. It was absolutely fantastic. We wait for the GT screen now and to load, while then we get set up for race 2. So there's your final results. So GTP Pasm from TNR Philo. Oh no, that's qualifying. I apologise. Here we go. GTP Pasm from Philo. We did 14 laps in that race. 3rd place JF Rod. In 4th we have Sig. So you can see the top 3 places taken by 3 different cars. It's nice to see. In 5th, GTP Roma, Subaru Impreza. 6th, the Lexus of GTP Bambi. 7th, the Impreza of Mr. Racing Line. 8th, GTP Patrick's in the Impreza. 9th and 10th in the Lexus, GTP Els and Dutchy. 11th is Napalm. 12th is Nail. And finally in 13th, Gravitron in the Subaru Impreza. Thank you for watching that first race in the GT300 Triple Mix Championship. 2 more races to come from the Red Bull Ring, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so that it appears in your newsfeed. If you haven't done already, hit the like button if you really did like that video. If you've got any comments, questions or queries about that entire video, make sure you put them down below. And if you want to watch another video from the channel, make sure you click that video in the box. It will take you straight to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.